Right, this is the Raspberry Pi, and if I turn it up the other way, this is the Pi 3B version 2, Raspberry Pi. Right, there we go. Now, to make this work, you need one of these. That's what that one is. And you might need one of these, which is a touch screen, which mounts on these. On the other hand, you could use a bigger screen, this touch screen here. Now I've broken a bit out of here, but it still works, and that connects up on this connector here, there, and that's the Pi camera, which connects to this connector here. So just stick it up the same way, and we can see what that one is perhaps. That's obviously got the metal bit here, and this one is plastic. Or you can have this screen, which connects via the HDMI port. And it also needs the USB connected for the touch screen. So that's the three screens I've got. Now to make this work, you could do with Raspberry Pi power supply, but there are other ways, and you could just use it like this and work it from a Windows PC using SSH, which we'll come to. So I'll put one together, put this first one together. Oh, and I might do a bit about programming the micro SD card. So first of all, put this one together. So with the screen connected to the multi-way there, and as you can see here, the screen is only on the left or right, whichever way you're looking at it, of those pins. You've got to get them on the right pins, otherwise you're going to have a bang. There's plenty of ways to get that bit wrong, and the SD card is plugged in there, and the power will go in there. So I now plug the power in. I'll just be on the floor, which is always difficult to do when you've got a camera in your hand. The power goes in there, and there's a little green light. Green light flashes. If you haven't got green light flashing, you might be in problems. Oops, and I got it upside down. There we go. And there's the BATC Portsdown transmitter, main menu. This one's for a comp video out, which is there. And it's a test card. So if I do this and push the test card, it produces that test card, and that's on the video out here. So I can use that as a comp video to drive whatever I need to drive, like the the 5.6 gigs transmitter or whatever. Touch the screen, goes off. And I think you could probably go through more than one test card, probably, from what I remember. But anyway, exit. To turn it off, M2, shut down. And here we go. You can, when the green light flashes, stops flashing I should say, you can probably pull the power out. So that's that one. Right, the software bit of it. Now you need to let's see if we get that website. It's obviously going to be Portsdown Software, and as it says, this is what you do to do it. It shouldn't need anything else other than this page. I don't need to tell you anything else really, because, or you can just Google for Portsdown Software and you probably get there, and then you use this program and make sure that you've got the right SD card there. You press this to search for the file you download from wherever they say, and then click there and away you go. The progress bar will go across, and that will be the software on the SD card. Now, one thing you need to do with the SD card is to put a file called SSH dot on it, and it's basically a blank file, and make sure you don't save it as a text file. It's got to be when you get a chance to save it, the file, you save it as any file, not if you use Notepad it'll try to save it as a text file. So you've got to be careful. That's about the only thing. Once you've got SSH, you can use a program called Putty, which is somewhere around there, to talk to the Raspberry Pi. So I'll see if I can get that up and running. So here's the Raspberry Pi, and I've got a LAN cable going into it, and the power supply, and all I need to do now is go onto the Windows computer and find out where this one is. I can do it via the test screen, but you don't need to do that. You can do it a different way by searching for its address on the Windows computer. So just to demonstrate that, I will start this one again without the this screen, just with the Raspberry Pi, and test that it works. So here we are running it now without the screen, just the Raspberry Pi with power going into it and the LAN cable connected to my router, which is also the same router that the computer, Windows 10 computer, is on. Right, on the Windows computer I'm running this program, and if I click scan, oh, I've got quite a few things connected, but down here, that Raspberry Pi is probably the one I'm looking for. Raspberry Pi, there's the address of it on my system.
While we're here, you notice that I've also got an astronomy Pi. That's the another Raspberry Pi running the telescope. So right, next we know which it is. It's 53. It's the important number. So I now run putty. And it comes up here. And now let's see if I've got it loaded. No, I've got one similar. So 53. Open. Comes up with a screen here and this warning about security certificates, but that's what you expect, and so you can go yes. And then this one, log in as, well, funny enough it's Pi, and then password. The default password is Raspberry. And then we get all this, and then you're through to this, which is the menu where you can alter everything. And this is set up for transmitting on 437 33 kilocycles FEC 7.8. And if you wanted to transmit, you push return, and I probably haven't got the right things, so I haven't set any of this up, which is because there's nothing connected to the Raspberry Pi. So that will be the next thing, to set some things up to transmit. You can transmit actually just in the ugly mode through this as well, if you go through the menu. Anyway, that's the easy way, connected to the Raspberry Pi without a screen. So you can connect this to a transmitter through the pins here, or the USB here. So that's the next thing we'll look at. Right, transmitting from a Raspberry Pi. So here's the touchscreen. Even though it's broken, it still works. And that's the Pi camera. Now, to transmit, you need power. And you need some sort of transmitter. Now, there's the Lime Mini, and there's the Portsdown. Now the Portsdown, let's get it all sorted here a minute. The Portsdown is very dim. Right, there's the connector that goes onto the Raspberry Pi connector, like that, roughly. It needs an oscillator board, and this connects to the main filter board, and there's plenty of documentation about that online. But nowadays the Lime has taken over, really. The Lime Mini. The Lime Mini you could plug into there, but they say powered USB extenders required. Now I've found this particular one, which has got 12 volts in, 3
charging outputs, 2.5 amps, and 4 USB 3. It's extenders from this USB input. The USB input comes from the USB output of the Raspberry Pi for these 4, and the Raspberry Pi itself is powered off one of the charging outlets, and the other charging outlet is actually driving the screen, the touch screen. So for 12 volts in to this, you can power the touch screen, the Raspberry Pi, and you could charge a mobile phone perhaps. And also the USB powered USB extender here can take the line, and also the video DVR for the video and audio input. So you could plug that in there, and this is now a complete transmitter to transmit from whatever the lowest frequency of the line is, something like 70 megs, up to 3.5 gigs, I think you'll find. One thing to remember is always have an aerial on it, in case you do something silly. So that's that. Now I'm going to power this up with a 12 volt lead here, which probably isn't long enough, going into there. Now at first nothing happens, because one of the disadvantages with this this extender, let's see, it's that one there, don't know if you can read that, made by let's see, there we go, probably read that. One of the disadvantages is when you plug it in, nothing happens until you push the on-off button. When you push that, everything starts. Right, so it's just really plugging everything in. It's very simple. Now I'm ready to transmit. It wouldn't be output to line mini. Source, Pi screen, yeah, I can do. Frequency 437. Normally I'd be a bit higher than that. Yeah, enter, there we go. So this one will come out on Oscar 10. Oh, sorry, Oscar 100. That was the days. So this is ready for the output of this aerial to come off and to go through 2 smaller amps and into the power amp and into the dish, and it would go up into Oscar 100. Let's see, the line gain is 90 on this, so I don't really want to do that, so bring it down to 9, enter. So that's the output of the line mini here. So just to prove I can transmit, there you are, I'm now transmitting, and the lights flash on the line mini. Let's go back to here, touch this again. So it was the Pi screen I was transmitting. If I can Pi cam, let's see. But it's not going to show it to me. No, I'm probably doing something wrong there. But anyway, source, test card, TX. Test card probably doesn't do test card unless it's that. Yeah, there we go. that would be transmitted test card through Oscar 100. I notice I haven't got my call sign in it on that particular one. Caption on, transmit, there we go, call sign. Oops. So here, MPEG-2, the VBS, not the best ways of doing it. FEC, I found that FEC12, and it will work just about with symbol rate 250. But the source, let's see, it's comp video, so that would probably work. And so you'd put the video in to the yellow one, obviously, and the sound into the white and red one. Connect this up to various amplifiers, up to your linear, into the potty aerial, dual frequency aerial, and into the dish and up to the satellite, and that would be transmitting now, whatever the comp video source is. Right, so that's basically the easy way of transmitting to Oscar 100. Now this here, the old filter modulator board, it has got advantages. Not everything works with the Lime Mini. Some things work better if you read the forums with this old filter modulator board. So don't throw your old modulator filter boards away. It might be just connect a Raspberry Pi up to this, and don't bother with the screen, just use SSH to control it, and do it that way from a Windows computer. So anyway, yeah, now one last thing. The other way of doing transmission is using some Raspberry Pi through from here down to there, and that is a quadrant antennaire DVB transmitter, but that's not so nowadays, that's not quite so with it perhaps, and I don't think you can use it for Oscar 100. Now there's the other thing is that this thing here, the thing that takes 12 volts in, means that you can go portable very easily. Before that you needed things like these things from eBay and Buck ones and things. So I recommend getting one like this. The 12 volts in, USB 3 in, 4 USB out, 3 outs, and 3 charger outlets. I find it works very well, apart from the fact you got to switch it on and off, but you might be able to take it to bits and alter that, or even get the Raspberry Pi to control it. Once it's on, the Raspberry Pi might be able to control that to switch it all off. Who knows? Anyway, that's it for now.